Hey guys, today I'm here with another game with our friend Broody. Broody, would you like to say hello?
Yeah, hello and good morning, guys. I hope your weather's doing a lot better than mine. It's raining like crap outside, and I'm freezing. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. In where I live, it's sunny. It's actually in the middle of October, like like it is the rest of the world. But it's sunny. It's like a good 65 degrees outside. Uh, Bugs and birds are singing and buzzing about. So yeah, that's good.
Oh wow, it's a lot better than my situation currently. I don't understand where this rain came from. It was nice, and it was warm yesterday, but it's freezing today. So
For sure. Alright, let's get down to the introductions. I'll start off at the bottom right hand corner. We have Trastal. Hello Trastal, you are the RedProtoss or Red Terran player, and you are in the bottom right hand corner, and you are the Red Terran player.
that he is. Why don't you give a little bit of round of applause? Good stuff being a Terran player that nowadays.
That's
Now
right.
this is an older replay, correct?
I will have to I don't think it's that old. It yeah, I think it's pre-patch, but it's not that old.
Nice. And okay, on the top left we actually have AJZ Pick. He's a friend of mine who actually sent this game in. He wants us to kind of give him some insight on how he can better his playstyles here. So this one goes out to you.
Alright, most excellent. This map is on Steering Crater, and the reason you guys might not recognize this map if you don't do a lot of laddering is because this map is always on the veto list. Every single Zerg's list has this vetoed. I don't know why. I think this map is quite balanced, and it's one of my favorite maps to play on. It's certainly a lot better than Tolerary Malta, in my opinion. And yeah, so this is a really, really good map.
I don't think I've actually ever played on this map, to be honest.
Yeah, the reason being is because, like I said, every single Zerg player vetoes it, and so
Yeah.
if you play random, then you're only gonna get it 2/3 of the time. But yeah, I don't know.
Ah. Yeah, so down to the build orders right now. We actually have a second gateway coming out of AJZ Pick and a second gas as well. While our friend Tristle is actually going for 2 racks play with single gas, not opting to get his orbital command. Both of these builds are a little bit strange in my opinion. Just kind of out of sheer safety, AJZ Pick could opt for the early side core, or I should say early, I should kind of say normal timed side core, especially given the distance of the map and that he has already scouted his opponent.
Excuse me, just yawning early morning, just woke up like 2 hours ago, even though it's like noon where I live. Um, Getting double marine, yeah, reactor not queuing up, that's really good. Getting the orbital command, orbital command really, really late. We want to get that a lot sooner. The barracks is getting marauder. Oh, he's queuing up a little bit, but I guess that's okay. He's not queuing up a lot. Concussive shell, I want to see that being researched.
Yeah, definitely, it would help him, but I would imagine that he can kind of opt to get it a bit later because of the distance of the map. Uh, did you notice the wall off here?
Yeah, from Trastal.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of lopsided there.
yeah. Also, walling off with supply depots. I don't really like that because when you wall off with supply depots, that's a lot of your supply up at the front of your base, and these are the first buildings that are gonna get picked off. And so, if you're going to be supply blocked under attack, that's maybe the worst thing that could possibly happen because it's sort of awkward when you're in SCV and you're like, sorry guys, I'm trying to make this supply depot as fast as I can. I know we're under attack, and everyone's like getting mad at you. So save the SCV stress and just don't wall off with supply depots.
Indeed. And a small attack coming up here. Tratzal actually decided that he wants to go in for the attack and kind of try to pressure his opponent early, but with the high zealot count, it doesn't actually work, even though I would have liked to see him kind of kite a little bit because he does have range units against total melee units, and he is going to be able to mop this up and push up into AJZ Pick's base.
I don't think he's actually going to push up into the base and do a ton of damage. We've only got 2 Marines and an almost dead Marauder. Now almost
Yeah.
like a full dead Marauder. Yep, there's the dead Marauder. You're not actually going to do any... I think I would have rather seen him just pull back.
Yeah, this does serve decent scouting information. I definitely think he should have stopped rallying, which he did. He is kind of getting all his units kind of situated at his main base, and this would be a perfect time considering the amount of money he has to throw up an expansion, or even two. You know, he's scared his opponent. He took away a lot of his units, and he knows he has an all-zealot composition right now.
Correct. Getting the charge for the Zealots, and then getting Templar Archives. Alright, AJZ pick. You wanted us to tell you what you're doing wrong. I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. You're going Templar first against PVZ. You always want to go for Colossus first, especially if you're a low-level player, because it takes a lot less micro, and it's not as gimmicky. If storms require a lot on the miss micro of the Terran player, and if you can do that, then that's really good. But with Colossus, all you have to do is a move, so it becomes a lot easier.
Indeed, indeed, and I'd like to also say that with Colossi, you can opt for going for a lot of Colossi, and you might not see that many Vikings, but once you start seeing Vikings, that is the perfect time to transition into your charge lot build, because at that point, a lot of the Terran army definitely resides in the air, which, you know, does not hit Vikings also well, and does not fare well against anything but air.
And yeah, that you're quite correct on that. And if you notice, as a AJZ pick, I keep wanting to tell him to stop making so many zealots, but it's working out for him. Zealots are like extremely hard to kill with bio units because the mass tankiness of each zealot, 150 health or 100 life and 50 shields for each zealot. That's a lot of freaking damage. Trastall, moving to this no, don't move to the gold if there's destructible rocks there, especially when you have a perfectly good natural sitting right outside your base. It's not beneficial.
Oh, and he's actually making a big transfer down there too. You know what? It's not really welcomed to kind of do this, but he is gonna be getting a bit of a mineral boost. If he had the more SCVs on there, he would definitely have a pretty decent boost, but at the loss of SCVs in his main.
Yeah, the thing is though, like I would still like to see it at his natural better because it doesn't look as retarded, number one. It's more defended, number two. And number three, it just looks retarded.
Yeah, totally. Let's see what AJZ pick goes here for upgrades. He's actually opted to not get upgrades now, and he's floating an insane amount of gas. So you know what, I'd like to see him spend Chrono Boost on his probe count, perhaps, and maybe transfer some probes, because one thing that lower level players don't really understand is the concept of transferring probes and what that can do for you. Basically, if you transfer probes, you kind of equal out the mining time from each base, and your main will run out a lot slower than if you didn't transfer, and that kind of gives you not so much of a mineral increase at that exact moment, but over time it will last you longer and you will have a higher income in the long term.
When zealots get charged, do they get an increased movement speed all the time?
You know what, I think they get a tiny bit of increased movement speed, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm looking at their movement speed and it's in yellow letter, or it's in little yellow numbers, and it's 2.75. And I was watching those zealots run, and those zealots were running a lot faster than they normally do. Planetary Fortress going down for Tratzol, and don't queue up with your SCVs unless, well, I guess you have a lot of money. I guess that's okay, but make more production facilities. You're on a gold base and a main base, so make more production facilities, Trastal. And you, AJZ pick, make more units. If he attacked right now, you'd be dead.
Yeah, entirely. He has nothing to really defend with, of course, unless he made a couple High Templars and saved up the storms a little bit, and with the gas had sentries. Sentries are an amazing unit in TvP.
AJZ pick is getting his third expansion, Also, AJZ pick, you need to make more probes. I'm looking at the saturation of both your bases. You can have probably 3 times the amount of probes you have right now, or no, 2 times. You could have 2 times the amount of probes right now, and I'd be a lot more happy with you getting this third base. Because as of right now, you're not fully saturating your expansion. You're not fully saturating your main base. So getting a third base doesn't really mean more economy. It just means more spread out drones, or probes, workers. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word. They're all the same. SCVs. They're all workers. Um, Getting the Zelnaga Watchtower in the middle on this map when it's cross positions, that's a huge deal. You'll be able to see your opponent incoming a lot sooner. Third base going down for Tratzel. They seem to be pretty equivalent in the game sense of needing to get that third base.
Yeah, totally. You know, it is a good idea, but again, you did bring up the point of the workers. Tratzel actually kind of giving a one-up here on the working camp. I wish he would move out of his base and take out those destructible rocks, even though he already forced that.
There's a drop in the back of AJZ Pick's base. Just saying that right now.
Oh, good call. And how many workers killed? It's 12 workers killed right now. Charge kind of coming into play. Also, if you see a drop like this, AJ, it's never a bad idea to kind of, you know, build maybe a high Templar at the back of your base, and then you can feed back that medevac. I actually don't usually feed back until I see them at around 150 energy, but it does scare the opponent away. And of course, you do have a million phoenixes, so that's gonna get cleaned up.
Going Stargates in PVT, excuse me, is not the best idea. Marines hard counter Phoenixes and Void Rays very easily, and so I don't really agree with this decision. But if I don't know, I feel like you're going all the wrong tech. I don't know why you feel like avoiding Colossus. Colossus are a lot better at dealing with bio than Phoenixes, and yeah, it's cool to pick up the siege tanks, but honestly, he only has 2 of them. Tratzel, I would like to see you, you know, get upgrades. You too. But yeah. See, you guys aren't getting upgrades. Get upgrades.
Well, AJ actually has shield upgrade right now, which is a bit strange. He kind of
Yeah.
wanted to reinforce both his armies. And I feel like he could have made this air tech viable if he threw them out a bit earlier. He's flying right over the army right now and losing a bunch. You want to avoid that generally, and you want to see what you can do to the mineral line, because, well, he's just going after the army and losing units.
Yeah, he lost 5 Phoenixes right there, and he's only killed 2 SCVs. So yeah, this is not a good idea.
Definitely not. You kind of want to dance around your opponent's army and see what you can do to hinder his economy with Phoenixes. That's the only way to kind of pull ahead with that type of play right there. Good idea on warping in more High Templars, but you know, you're moving up to a 3-base economy now. Now finally throwing down a double robo. Throw down more gateways. You're sitting at 3, 4 now. You're starting to build, but you know what? Since you're going for charge lot mainly compromised army, that's not the word I'm looking for.
Composed.
Composed army, yeah. You know, you're gonna have a lot of gas to spend. You're gonna have a lot of even minerals to spend on 3-base and soon to be 4-base. So, with an income right now of about 1,000, you can drop 10 zealots a minute once your production buildings and upgrades are kind of along, you know.
Yeah, he's trying to go for all the techs right now because he's getting double robo right now. And I've actually seen this work before, only because it catches the opponent off guard. But preferably, I'd still like to just see you stick on 2 tech for the most part, because the micro that it takes to micro High Templars and Phoenix is like that for a pro. And with your APM being at 32, it's not really... Oh, wait. No, his APM's 112. What the what? Is he, like, spamming or something?
This is definitely before... He must have spammed in the beginning, but this is before the APM nerf.
Okay, because I was like, even my APM's not that high, and I'm, like, a high diamond player. Okay.
Oh, yeah, a small drop on 3rd base, kind of taking out pylons. Not a bad thing to do.
It's gonna get cleaned up really fast, though, by these Archons. That was a bad idea. Yeah, you gotta be able to micro those. Okay, another thing about drops, if you've done damage and haven't lost anything, don't be afraid to pick up. It feels like you could get more damage, but being greedy is the epitome of losing. So, Yeah, I mean that's always the case for all games. I mean, even in Dota and League of Legends, being greedy never works out for you. So if you get any sort of advantage by dropping, just pick up and run away. That's a free 100 minerals for you.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and I like the way he's kind of using his, wow, just looking at the gold here for AJZ pick. Sorry to cut myself off, but there's a Marine just kind of watching the rocks go down. I like the way, what's his name, Tratzel?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tratzel. I like the way Tratzel is kind of utilizing drops as his, scouting information, and the way he ran in at the early game to kind of get some scouting information. He knew what he was up against, but still, no ghosts. No ghost tech on the way either, and they're both floating an insane amount of money. Once you start to get a certain mineral income, drop more production. You can afford it.
Sorry to cut you off here. Trassel, don't do it. Don't do it. All these Marines are getting soaked up and cleaned up by these Archons. He picks off a lot on the Archon, but that was most definitely not worth it. Marines versus Zealot Archon is going to lose so quickly.
Yeah, I think only one unit actually went down there for AJ.
Yeah, that was a huge cleanup for AJ. Right now, I would like to see AJ actually get aggressive, make an army, and just push out. Because, man, I don't know about this Mass Void Rays. I don't even know why he got the double robotic. Did it even make anything out of that yet?
I do not think so, actually.
I'm looking at the actual units tab right now, and there's only 3 Archon, 5 Zealots, Phoenix, and Void Rays out for AJZ pick. And so if you're gonna make units, actually if you're gonna play StarCraft, you should probably make units. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that, yeah.
They both really haven't scouted each other. As you can see, Tratzel kind of fears Colossus. He's begun his Viking tech when there actually is no Colossus on the field at all. And AJ, make some observers. You got 2 robos. Put observers all around the map. Puts them over here. Patrol in between 2 bases on the top right, puts them on the gold, which is now mined out, and you have a million SCVs not doing anything.
Oh, well, no, they just went to, okay, now they're doing something. But, yeah, if you look at AJZ Pick's vision right now, he still thinks that Tratzel's on 1 base. Like, obviously he doesn't think that, but if you just look at the minimap, that's all he sees is the main base. And so he probably thinks he's got a natural down, and that's about it. Where he's been on 4 base, and oh wait, hold on, there's a bunch of SCVs doing some long distance mining at this base.
Kind of strange if you ask me, and still those full energy Phoenix not really doing anything. They can definitely be used to get scouting information.
And the Vikings are gonna shoot all of these Phoenixes down, and that was like just wow, yeah, those Phoenixes just got wrecked by those Vikings.
Yeah, entirely. Okay, that's good to see that AJ is kind of getting air upgrades. I don't usually see low-level players kind of do this. I almost forget about it, that you can actually click on the side core and get those.
Yeah, air upgrades are not a common seeingness in any matchup really, unless if you're a pro player and you've done the build before. But as of right now, I don't think that's the case. Thors are going to be... No, actually, Thors are bad against Void Rays. 1 Void Ray can take out 1 Thor. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah, it actually happens very quick. It depends on the clump of the Void Rays.
Alright, well, we have a ton of freaking Void Rays, and they're just going to zap everything to death with their Graviton beams of awesomeness. And just looking at the amount of lasers, it's like War of the Worlds over here.
Oh my god, and when they grow, it's kind of like getting shot by an ocean of death.
My sound is kind of loud. Holy cow, I can't even hear what you're saying, it's so loud. I don't know if it's just because I turned it up a lot before the game, but holy cow. I might have to turn that down in a little bit. Void Rays completely decimating this 4th base. Hopefully they're going to catch this 3rd base. Yep, they're going to see this base.
Wow.
And it's just, yep, it gets wrecked too. Is there going to be a cancel? There's no cancel on that. Now there's a whole bunch of Marines going up to kill these Void Rays, and it's not going to work. Unless if AJZ pick runs away, which I don't think will happen.
Oh, and he's not doing anything, losing 1 Void Ray. Lifting up a couple Marines, that is helping his cause, of course. And yeah, just cleaning up entirely, and wow, the Air Force of AJ is kind of demolishing everything here. He has 111 on all of his Air Forces, and that's pretty damn good. Now he's figuring out that, wow, there was a gold base here, and kind of, 8 minutes too late, maybe even more.
Yeah, that planetary fortress had no chance in life. If you look at Tratzel, he's been taking base after base after base. He's just been cleaning up the minerals from everywhere on this map. And these Voiders are going to boldly engage, not even a care of where the Terran army is. No, focus down the engineering bay. No, not the army, the engineering bay. No, it's going to go down. No, he doesn't focus fire it. So that +2 weapons, infantry weapons is going to go up. And that's going to be a big loss. These Thors are focus firing down these Void Rays. He needs to focus fire the Thors. One Thor goes down. Second Thor going to go down. Third Thor is getting repaired but still goes down. And the Void Rays, or the Marines, are doing tons of damage.
Indeed they are, but in a second they're kind of going to be Void. The Phoenix is handling all the air, but still the missile turret's kind of firing at everything right now. And unfortunately for AJ, he cannot lift that Thor up. But he is going to come out. I'm not sure if that was an even trade. I don't think it was.
I think, well, it was an army trade pretty much. Like, the only thing that Tratzel has left was a few Marines. AJZ pick.
Watch units.
Oh, no. You gotta watch out for those missile turrets. They will wreck you so fast. And I just realized that, actually, he's been getting weird upgrades in the engineering. If you look at Tratzel, he got the armor, or the building armor, and he also got the high-sec auto-tracking. I didn't notice that.
Wow, he did too. I don't understand why he would get that. He thinks, perhaps he's not, he doesn't feel good about defending a base himself. He wants the game to kind of do it for him, and I don't like these small attacks, with no kiting especially.
Yeah, Tratzel's just throwing away groups of Marines. AJZ pick definitely needs to get some upgrades on his Zealots. Zealots that are 3-3 wreck everything. It's almost ridiculous. Yeah, Tratzel's still just mining away at all these bases. The income for both these players, the resources for both these players, I should say, is so high. Anything above 1,000 minerals is unacceptable. And you need to be just spending your money. It's great that you have money, but it's not great that you're not spending it.
Yeah, drop production, that's the key thing, and you guys are running off a lot of bases right now at about 2,000 mineral income. I see 4 robos coming down, massive queuing on Immortals against Marines, but that's okay. You've got the money, you kind of did a base trade, and you know that you're going to be kind of fighting against planetaries. Maybe that's your decision?
If you're going to get this much money and you're going to be this late in the game, if you're going to make Immortals against Marines, might as well make Colossus, or Carriers too. Make some Carriers, make this game freaking legit. That'd be sick. See some Carriers.
Yeah,
maybe a
finally.
Mothership, yeah. Yeah, so we're going to have Tratzel expanding to the top right-hand corner again.
Oh, wow, he's really bold about his moves.
Yeah, he really is. He's like, well, I don't think I'm going to get scouted, so I'm just going to go for it. We got a pack of Void Rays, maybe like a flock of Void Rays, a school. Ooh, a school of Void Rays. I like that one the best, yeah. We got a school of Void Rays coming down to the right-hand corner. If he scouts this base and does some really good focus firing on these missile turrets before just going in there and trying to kill this planetary fortress, he should be able to take this down.
Keep in mind also that the missile turrets do have the plus range and the +2 armor as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. So these missile turrets have a lot of freaking buffs. Void Rays have 111 upgrades. That's really impressive. And he's just gonna be pushing up the front of this base. These Immortals are gonna get wrecked by these Marines, but that's fine. That's totally fine.
He does have Archons to kind of buffer, but for the time being, another tip, AJ, if you're gonna kind of sit back with a lot of money, other than have production, it's a good idea to throw some probes out on the map. Put pylons in weird positions that can help you out later in the future, especially if you're pushing with an army. Have some pylon coverage to back up, or since you have 4 robos, make wow, I had to stop myself. They took out that planetary extremely fast. Make some warp prisms, and then you can kind of reinforce at any angle. Did you notice the void rays?
Yeah, they got shot by those missile turrets, and they're still just missing everything. I don't know what they're going for. Okay, focus fire this planetary fortress. Good, he's doing just that. The planetary fortress is gonna melt here in a second. Yep, there it goes, and bam, planetary fortress is down. All these Vikings, though, are gonna help clean up everything.
Yeah, they are charged though, so it is going to be.
Yeah, ouch. That didn't really work out like Tratzel thought it would. Tratzel's now kind of, you know, he's not. I'm not gonna say he's scrambling, but he has so few. Like he still is on the same production that he's been the whole game. Two barracks, one factory, one starport. That's not gonna cut it.
Oh, that won't cut anything. Imagine how much you can make. You can make an army fully, you know, composed of Thors right now, and he would definitely have probably like 40 Thors if he had enough production.
The missile turrets are gonna direct all these void rays, and he finally gets all of them down. But this oh, yep, now he gets all of them down except for Tratzel's making more, and so that's gonna be a little bit awkward when it's like a never-ending stream of missile turrets. Yeah, I don't know what AJ Pick is doing. He's not really gonna push out and win this game. Neither player can win this game.
No, but this is the most confusing game I've ever casted because, you know what, it seems like the understanding of what you can do with the unit, like, I feel like these players don't understand a unit's role per se.
Yeah.
Certain units are made to fit a specific role, and you know what? It's not that hard to tell if you just like hover above the armor and the weapons of it. It says versus armored 55 for an immortal. So technically, you want to have those target, you know, armored things like buildings or Thors. You're going up against Marine Thor, so it's not a bad idea. But I feel like you're overcommitting right now, as you see you're low on gas.
It feels like these players have or at least they have a degree of what I call eight-year-old syndrome, where you don't make the unit because it's good, you make the unit because it looks freaking awesome, and so you just get as many of that unit as you can, and that's what we see AJ Z-Pig doing here with the Immortals. I mean, Immortals are freaking sweet units, but against Marines, they're not that great, and well, I guess it's working out okay for him so far, but if Tratzel had if Tratzel just focused fire down a bunch of these Immortals with the Marines, they would get wrecked. These Thors are going to be useless in these battles, like 100% useless. And yeah, I think AJ Z-Pig's going to come ahead in this game. Tratzel's expanding in enemy territory. I mean, if you look at this, like, holy cow, enemy territory. What a baller.
Player around, considering he doesn't have an army. He's just gonna keep expanding. Maybe, you know, he'll invite him, AJ will invite him over for dinner one day and become friends, but that won't be today. They're kind of on bad terms, and you know, production, guys. Production.
Yeah, seriously. Well, actually, I'm really impressed with this Terran player. We told him to get upgrades. He's got 3-3 vehicle plating, or he's got 3-3 vehicle upgrades. He's got 3-3 infantry upgrades. I mean, he's getting good upgrades.
Yeah, if only he could handle the production, he would probably crush this right now. So the Immortals are coming in to kind of take up more bases.
A nuke!
A nuke is lodged. I was gonna point that out that a nuke was actually made a couple seconds ago, but I didn't think we'd actually see it go down. No observers on the map, of course, and the army kind of moves away. And you know, Immortals can take nukes a bit more than any other unit, but you know, if you're directly under the nuke, you're not going to sustain much.
Yeah, this barracks is just getting wrecked right now, and Tratzel has left the game. Holy cow, that was a freaking crazy game. I've never seen so many Immortals in one army. That was actually really funny to watch. Yeah, that was actually, you know, that's exactly how I described it as 8-year-old syndrome. When I was about 8 years old, I would make any unit that was like the unit to make. I was like, oh man, today I'm gonna make nothing but ultralisks. So like, I only played against AIs, so I'd like input all my like hacking code, like show me the money and everything.
Power overwhelming.
Oh heck yes! You always have to remember the W on whelming, or else it doesn't work, and then you get really really stressed. You're like, why isn't it working? And then so yeah, I mean it's cool that immortals are freaking bad A units, but if any other player would have made a bunch of marines and ghosts and just completely wrecked your immortal force. I mean, yeah, this amount of immortals should never happen, and the fact that it did is so cool, but it's not really viable.
Yeah, that was definitely probably a cool low-level game. Um, but you know what? Units compositions were read kind of abstractly. Things. Let's point out things that were kind of wrong that could be changed in this game. I find unit compositions, scouting. You know what? Both players actually expanded very well, I find.
Yeah, their income was incredible the entire game, and the fact that they knew to expand that, the fact that they knew to expand was good, but the fact that they weren't doing anything after it expanded was bad.
Yeah, totally. Because it's really hard to try to explain the economy of StarCraft sometimes. I mean, if you think about the early stages of before you get onto two-base play, let's say, you kind of have to spend a lot of your income on building that production and kind of going for those buildings to grant yourself access to upgrades later. And when you move to two-base, you are now getting double the income you were before, so you'll have a bit more money and you can drop production while you still already have the buildings for upgrades. And then all of a sudden, you're kind of set. You don't have to build production anymore when you're sitting on like a good amount of production on two base and upgrades. And once that happens, you can start to add production as your money gets a bit higher, and then you can have more units pumping out at the same time. Um, what else can we point out about that?
I think we should not point out too many things, and we should just let them work on the things that we've already mentioned, because you have to get the basic fundamentals down before you can work on the higher stuff, like positioning. Like positioning is important, but if you don't have any units, then positioning is not going to be too important. Also, I think if we tell them too much to do, they'll get overwhelmed and not do any of it and just sort of revert back to their old form. So,
Yeah, sure.
how about this? You guys, the people AJZ pick, you improve, you take what we said, apply it to your games, and then send us a replay of how you're doing now, and we'll commentate it and show your improvements, and it'll be really, really fun.
Indeed, we'll almost have like a time-lapse scale per
Yeah,
se.
exactly. We can have a before and after picture, so that would be that'd be actually pretty fun.
I'd like to see him going to Grandmasters with all immortals.
Oh, oh, ooh, that would be so sick. All right, let's wrap up this game. I'm Third Dilemma,
And I'm Broody.
and if you want your game commentated by us and uploaded, send it to lolpath26 at hotmail.com, and then subscribe to me on YouTube and subscribe to Broody on YouTube. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Broody, you plug in yourself. You do that.
Alright, I will do that. You can find my YouTube at youtube.com/rawstarcast. That is RAWSTARCAST. Also, I stream kind of on the regular. You can ask me questions in chat or whatnot. It's owned.tv/Broody, and search my name on teamliquid.net and you'll be able to find me there too and kind of, talk to me a bit on the forums. Uh, yeah,
And
that's about it.
Broody has high quality streams. It's incredible. It's like watching glass, like liquid on the screen. You're like, can I touch it? And you like touch your hand to the screen. You're like, oh dang it. And it's really incredible. He has a lot of good stuff. So check him out.
Yeah, when I slap you, it's real.
Yep, it's true. All right. I want to end this game. See you guys.
Peace. Take care.